my latest sculpture over here that I just finished. It's an old hot rod racer double chain drive that, I don't know, circa 1910 or so. It's completely made out of glorious junk. So that's what I do. I take junk and turn it into sculpture. This is the Wolfe Special number 14, and it is sold, and figured I'd give you a little peek of what it's made out of, because this one's going to Robbie Wolfe from American Pickers. So I was getting ready to box it up. So here we go. I'm gonna tell you what all this stuff is. Okay, like this, the cab here, the little cow, is a motorcycle battery charger. Then we got like the hood part. That is a scale. And here is a scale that you can kind of see. It's a little tiny different, but when I looked at that, it looked like a front of a hot rod. So that's what started the whole project, was that scale. Then we got, let's see, this little scoop on here. That is the back of this train. Kind of went in the back there and had cool little rivets. So anything that's rivets is good. So that was that. Then we got the seat. The back section here is an old lunchbox. Same with the, if you look inside there, the firewall is the bottom of the lunchbox. Good patina on it. And the seat, that is a dial caliper gauge. The holder of the box for a dial caliper. And then if you look inside, there is the floor, which is one of these dudes here. And this is the bellows out of a antique player piano. So you can kind of see, take them apart and take all the stuff off, and you got floors that are 100 years old. And everything in this car is like either antique or vintage, so there's no new parts on it. Like the little pedals, little clutch and brake, and those are all typewriter parts. Same with this little dude on the side here. It's outside brakes, typewriter parts, and shifter, typewriter parts. These little tiny gauges are class keys off a typewriter, and printed out little Model T things off the computer and shrunk them down and put them in there. And the dashboard is an old Blatz beer bottle opener. And this little dude up here, I needed to cover up a hole, and that's the latch part for a suitcase. And a little gas tank. I kind of cheated because it's already a gas tank out of a little antique airplane, gas-powered airplane in the back. You see here, these are, looks complicated, it rolls around, but the axle and the hub is actually a typewriter ribbon holder. Let me see if I've got one laying here. There we go. This is a typewriter ribbon holder, a half of one. They sit like that. But as you can see, they got cool little gears and they move and everything. So that's two of those welded together. And then over here for the sprockets, the double chain drive, that's the sprocket of a player piano, and the chain is antique turn of the century player piano. And what else we got on there? The wheels off a baby buggy. And if you go over here, this side, the main frame is an old Dazer articulating desk lamp, part of one, the arm. And then we have the step up, which is a space bar, wooden space bar off a typewriter. The chain guards, those are made out of the same thing I just showed you, the ribbon holders. Those are all cut up. And it actually will steer. There's a little gearbox made out of typewriters. This is all typewriter. And I'll get around to showing you the whole front, which is basically all typewriter. And this little, I made a little steering box so that you can steer this dude. It's got a little play, but so that's kind of cool that it actually turns. That was kind of a challenge. Then you got, let's roll around to this side. And you got this grill, which I have no idea what it was. It was like part of something that was bigger, and I cut it all down, but it looked like a hot rod grill. And some perforated material, and radiator cap, which is a antique doorknob to pull in your car to lock your doors. Then you got the front end, which is all typewriter parts. It's got these cool little springs in there, but it was all put together, and I had to add stuff, but made the leaf springs from a typewriter, the little crank, that's all typewriter. And if you look at you can kind of see the little tie rods and stuff. So that's all made, and these, I don't know what those are, but they look cool. They look like old fin backing plates. So then the drums themselves, those are 10-speed bicycle bearing races out of a 10-speed. Those are I just cut them down. I don't do any machining or nothing. I just use my grinders and stuff like that. I don't have a lathe or nothing, so I don't like to do that. I wouldn't want to do that anyhow. I just like to kind of use it in its raw form and modify it a little bit. But yeah, then we got this the recirculating system. These old cars back in the day were they always had problems with overheating, the real ones, so this is my version of how you'd fix that. So you get this little line that comes out of the radiator and goes into this tank, this overflow tank, which is an old float out of a carburetor. And then it would go into here, the steam, and it would go into this dude, which is a thermostat, part of a thermostat for a car. Then it would go into this and kind of, instead of boiling over, recirculating back in. This piece, I have no idea what it was, but it looked cool. So there it is. And we got the exhaust, which I don't know what it was, just little pieces, parts. It was cool looking. This was separate. Then they had to make these little dudes, and this was separate. And this was separate. This one's kind of weird, but it's copper, so I like it. Another chain guard made out of typewriter parts. And yeah, that's about it. I think it's about 21 inches long. And here's kind of underneath. There's a little gearbox underneath there, and you can see the suspension and part of the rear end, and put my tag on there with my name and the date. And there's no engine, so I was gonna make an engine for it, but then I didn't feel like cutting open the hood and trying to make doors for it and all that, so can't see it anyhow. So there you go. Yep, that is my car that's getting sent out to Robbie. So pretty excited that he's the one that's buying it. So Robbie's a awesome dude, and he gets tons of cool stuff. So